The third thing needed, make sure you have an asset allocated toward this expense, because it's the cost of a wedding, your college tuition. It could be the cost of your mortgage. It could be the cost of your house or your car.
Welcome to Girls Gone Gritty. I'm Farley Boyle, girl mom.
And I'm Jennifer Brenius, boy mom.
Together, we're Team Boyle-Renius. Each other's ride
or die. This is where grit gets real. We don't just talk, we do it.
We're here for the messy stories, the hard-fought lessons, and the courage it takes to keep showing up.
Especially when it's uncomfortable. We bring gratitude and attitude to everything we do.
We jump in head first, unafraid, and are all in all the time.
We bring it on and get it on, diving into unscripted conversations on just about everything.
We don't just talk grit, we live it.
We put the it in grit.
So let's get gritty.
Welcome to another episode of Girls Gone Gritty. We're here at Bring It On Studios, and as always, I'm excited to be sitting next to my amazing best friend, Farley Boyle, who, if you looked at our thumbnail, you might think that we have lost our mind or had facelifts or both. The first one is true. We have lost our minds.
Yes.
The second one is not true. We have not had facelifts, but we're going to talk about that today in the podcast. It's going to be so much fun. If you're watching us on YouTube or seeing us on Spotify, you can see that we kind of coordinate because we have big stuff happening for Girls Gone Gritty today. And it's funny because we always end up
channeling each other.
Doing this. I think we're starting to share a brain.
I think we are. We both decided to do vintage rock and roll with a blazer.
And it's a little chilly here in New Jersey, so I busted out the velvet.
I think this is a good sign. Wonder Twin Powers. All right. Awesome.
All right. Well, before we get to the meat and potatoes of our episode, I think you have some top threes.
I do. Number 3, New Jersey's very own Chris Gotterup makes his debut at the Masters, arguably one of the best golfers under the age of 30.
If you've been following Chris Gotterup, born and raised in Little Silver, New Jersey, and his being touted as one of the best golfers.
One of the very best of New Jersey.
Absolutely. And
he's currently ranked 9th in the world.
It's insane. And
great family. It's nice to see good things happen to a family who has worked really hard. The sister, Anna, just got huge props. She's at Navy. She's a lacrosse player. She overcame an injury that could have had her leg amputated. And now she is looking to become a fighter pilot.
Of course she is, because what can't the Gotterups do? Chris is the guy's guy, very kind, humble people. And if you read the stories, he's able to bench a lot right now, and they're not exactly sure how the green jacket's going to fit him. We love him repping Jersey.
Chris, let's freaking go.
Golf clap, golf clap,
golf clap. Okay. Number 2, United's economy fare gets a glow up. Does this mean the Mile High Club will increase its membership?
Ew, ew, ew. I hope not. Please, dear Lord.
I added that.
I can't. But now you can buy an entire row in United, and they'll give a mattress and some pillows, and you can get yourself nice and cozy, which I question because they're always wanting you to wear your seatbelt and safety. I don't know how that's going to work when you have two bodies lying next to each other, and hopefully there's no canoodling. That is disgusting.
The picture they showed to ramp this up was a mom with her 2 kids. So it might be perfect for a single traveler, great for a family with kids. I hope it's not for couples, because you can definitely see where those lines could be penetrated. I mean, not penetrating. The lines could be crossed. But if I was flying somewhere long distance flight, even to California, it might be nice to stretch out.
Oh my gosh, it's amazing to stretch out. And 3 seats, let's just say you have a $500 fare. Let's just take that math, and you have to buy $1,500 to be able to lie flat. I don't
move up to business class.
Yeah, you'd have to do the math, but
yeah, we have to do the math.
At least, as you said, hopefully for a young
family of 3.
Yes, young family.
You take up 3 rows like my husband and I and Chase, or whenever I fly with 3 of my people. Yeah, we would not fit.
Please don't.
No. Okay. And number 1, the original Gritty trio, Charlie's Angels, celebrates 50 years since changing the landscape for women actresses.
When this show debuted 50 years ago, it was innovative, and nobody can take that away. And they actually inspired a whole generation of girls, myself included, where women who had traditionally been in roles of needing saving and were then empowered, and they were the ones that were running into the danger. And Bosley, unfortunately, no longer with us. He died in 1997, was the one who was making sure that they were on track and on point. He was very much a background character compared to the girls.
I lived for it. I watched The Bionic Woman. I watched Wonder Woman. And I think Charlie's Angels made it realistic. Bionic Woman was pretty realistic, but then they had the $1 million man, Steve something.
I didn't like him as much as I liked the girls.
Well, of course. I can still remember Lindsay Wagner's like the sound of her like running.
When it went slow to make it look like it was going fast.
But Charlie's Angels made it attractive. It was attractive, badass women that were kicking ass.
They were not stupid. Let's be honest. These network executives, they're not going to put on, anybody that looks like a schlep,
right?
In prime time when there were only 3 TV channels. What's interesting, which will lead us to our episode, is that they definitely have had some work and not all of it looks that great.
It would be very hard to be in Hollywood and to be a former icon, star, celebrity, and have to keep up with that look, that aura. And unfortunately, the trend is plastic surgery. Well, and some do a great job. If you look at the Charlie's Angels promo, one of them looks great. Looks like she had some work done that was on the natural side.
Jacqueline Smith.
And 2, I wasn't naming names.
Oh, well, I'll name names. They're famous people and they put themselves out there for display.
1 is slightly unrecognizable and botched. And Cheryl Ladd, the original Farrah was my favorite. Right. Cheryl Ladd looks good. She was this all-American beauty. It's very hard to maintain that.
These women have to be 70s and 80s. Let's be honest. What are you supposed to look like when you're in your 70s and 80s? And what do we do in order to feel good in our 40s and our 30s, our 20s and our 50s? What's happened since the inception of Charlie's Angels? All of these surgeries, that has become commonplace. So look at people like Demi Moore. She is unrecognizable if you knew what she looked like before. Does she look good for what she's representing? Absolutely.
The best quote I found while I was doing a little research came from Jane Fonda, who is touted as one of the most natural looking faces out there that has undergone the knife. And she said she wanted a rested look while avoiding distortion. I don't need to look like I'm 20 again.
I don't like it.
You're not 20. So the rest of you is not going to look 20. No, I feel like we've got to be realistic here. Realistic to me is character lines. I want to see that I've smiled and that I've had expression in my life. And I don't want to look plastic like a wax statue. It's a very fine line and it requires some serious due diligence. And before you sign on, you have to do research and you have to figure out what is it that you're looking to correct. Look at yourself in the mirror,
but not too much. And that's the thing I think that's challenging in today's society when we get to a point where you're considering anything, which Farley will get to. When we look at ourselves in the mirror too long, and I know that at points in my life, I did this, and there was a point where the eyebrow trend became something. And if you started plucking your eyebrows, you could pluck too many eyebrows, and then and now I feel like I have no eyebrows and I have to paint them in. But I feel like if you look at yourself too long, you can be overcritical about what you look like.
Especially if you're in a magnifying mirror.
Yeah,
that shows you. Throw those away.
I love my magnifying.
I'm a picker. That's when I start picking.
We're both pickers.
I think it's terrible, but you do need to look in a mirror on this occasion extensively to figure out what you don't love. Is it a brow lift, an eye lift? Is it a mid face lift? Is it a full facelift? You do not like your neck. Figure out what it is that you don't like about yourself and don't just jump in head first without doing your due diligence. Number 1. Number 2, I have been told by some friends of mine that have had full facial reconstruction that they got 3 quotes. They did their research. They found 3 plastic surgeons that they felt were in the same realm. And they went to hear what each one had to say.
It's like a request of proposal on what you're going to do to me. And
well, it's a consultation. If I'm going to go have surgery, I'm going to go get 2 or 3 different opinions. You're double checking that what they're proposing is right. You're making sure that you're getting more than one opinion.
Second and third opinion, if possible. You don't want to take one person's opinion on what you should do. If they all say the same thing, then you go with who you like and who makes sense for you. Undergoing any surgery has risks.
How many headlines have you seen where somebody's had some type of plastic surgery and they die?
Yeah.
Because anesthesia is real.
Absolutely.
There's a lot of complications that can develop. This is advice that I'd never heard before that I'm going to pass along that is brilliant. I wish that I had come up with this idea because it's a business, the beauty broker. So before you decide to get a facelift of any nature, you should go to the beauty broker and hire them to represent you. for $750. If you're going to spend 50,000, 100,000, whatever.
The third thing needed to be make sure you have an asset allocated toward this expense, because it's the cost of a wedding, your college tuition, it could be the cost of your mortgage, it could be the cost of your house or your car.
Let me just go back here. The beauty broker wants you to come to her with your budget. So let's say you have a budget of $30,000,
which again is a car.
Say your budget is
family.
$15,000. Let's say your budget is $100,000. What you get for a $750 consultation with the beauty broker is somebody that is going to recommend the correct surgeon that can do it with your budget. They know their bedside manner. They're in the operating room a lot of times with these doctors. They understand success rates, doctors that have botched issues, and they represent you if something bad happens.
Oh boy.
Not only are they very astute, knowing who's who in the realm of plastic surgeons, they can also get you placement on the wait list much better than you could do yourself, not knowing the doctor, not having any pull. So you hire this person for $750, which is a very nominal investment when you're spending all this money to help you get in the door, help you make the decision, help you if there's a problem with the aftermath of taking things to the next levels. These doctors do not want to disappoint the beauty broker, because that's bad for business and it gets publicized and it gets put out there. So I think if you're really going to spend a significant amount of money, protect your investment, go to a beauty broker.
Well, protect your face.
Protect everything.
Let's just say protect your face, because
you only have one.
You kind of can't get it back. And we've seen, as you indicated, not just death, you've seen the ones that go poorly. And if you don't have a good understanding of what your goals are, I've seen doctors, dermatologists, and everybody starts down the road with the Botox and injections. And that's a precursor to what we're talking. In some of the doctors start to look weird because they're starting with injectables and some of these outpatient easy procedures. So if you have somebody who isn't aligned with your goals, let alone your budget, then you may end up with an outcome you don't like. And you kind of can't fix your face.
They're saying that the best age or the sweet spot to really consider going for a full traditional facelift is 50, between 40 and 60. So that to me is 50. We're in that sweet spot right now. We're actually a little passe.
Yeah.
Well, my mother did it when she was 50 years old. And I remember thinking, God, I cannot believe my mom is getting a facelift. I would never have thought that she was even vain enough, because I never saw her complain. She wasn't into systems and using all kinds of different regimens. She hadn't done smaller procedures. I don't think she ever did Botox, to tell you the truth.
Well, I don't think it was a thing as much.
I don't know.
I don't think it was a thing.
The early signs of aging, which is a sagging jawline, getting jowls, these like little chipmunk bags over here.
I just like to smile. I like to smile a lot to make them go away.
Neck laxity. All of a sudden you recognize, hey, I have 13 chins and I've got several lines underneath my neck, and you don't realize it until you see it. And then when you see it, you can't unsee it.
One of the things you can do for that, they say, is to sleep on your back. That's a very easy thing for the lines on your neck, the lines on your chest, and to prevent some of the jowls.
And a silk pillowcase.
But laying on your back, and just because gravity will work for you for 8 hours, simple.
Okay, great. I can't lay on my side anymore because of my lack of estrogen shoulder. So
one of those neck pillows that like locks me in so I can't turn, because I'm a mover when I sleep.
They say the earlier the better, because we have optimal skin elasticity. If our skin has more elasticity, it's better healing and longer lasting results. So they say preventative surgeries are better. Get it before you really need it, because it'll last longer and it will take better. Brow lifts, eyelid lifts, forehead lifts. There's minor lifts that you can do along the way before you go for the big kahuna.
A lot of my friends look great and I can't put my finger on it. And then we'll take a picture of their eyes. Oh, yeah. And the eyes have gone from
the eyelid that looks heavy, sandbaggy.
The eyeball looks a little bit bigger.
Yes.
And you look like you woke up from a nap.
It's an eyelid lift.
The eyelid lift. And some put fat here, and people look great with that.
You look refreshed. They say that between the ages of 30 and 40 is when we should start doing those little preventative lifts. And
missed it.
And they take anywhere from an hour and a half to 2, and you're not out of commission that long, and you heal better when you're younger, you heal faster. Those are things that slide under the radar that don't call a lot of attention except for the fact that you look refreshed and like you slept well. Let's talk about the incisions, because to really understand a facelift, you have to understand the incisions, and the incisions are thoughtfully placed so that scars are hidden. Now, if you're somebody that scars badly,
Back up behind your ear.
the areas that are going to be compromised, they can be closed with sutures or skin adhesives, is your temple at your hairline, so it blends, behind your ears, because people really aren't looking behind your ears. And then up here in your scalp, a little bit higher up than your hairline, that like lift, like it tightens everything. So you're not going to see those scars, which is nice if you're completely worried about
Having a facelift.
it is going to be a noticeable difference depending on what you bite off. Another thing that people might wonder is, do I have to be totally put under, or am I on an anesthesia that is local? It's your choice. And I would think if you're having something significant, I'd want to be put out like IV sedation and wake up and ask if it's been done yet.
Yeah.
Although I think that you can feel that it's been done when it's your face.
Absolutely. I feel the going under with anesthesia, you always take a calculated risk. We had somebody who went under for knee surgery in his early 50s and did not survive it because of the anesthesia. And those are real risks.
Those are risks.
And you have to take calculated risks in life and decide risk reward. And listen, if you are miserable, if you wake up every day and you're unhappy, then that has its risk of mental health. And
it's a personal decision.
And hopefully by going through some of these brokers and doing your due diligence, you also have reputable doctors and they know what they're doing. The risks go from 10%, 20% when you're going someplace like Mexico, where people go to get facelifts.
Right.
And it'll go to like less than 1% if you're putting yourself under.
You have to also recognize how you respond to anesthesia. If you've never been put under, I had back surgery, and when I came out of surgery, I vomited profusely on morphine, which wasn't fun because I just had a major surgery. So imagine if you are being put under for your face and you come to, and now you're vomiting profusely with stitches and tightening and, things of that nature. So you might want to make sure that you know how you respond to anesthesia. There are so many different types of facelifts. Maybe you start a little smaller and you go bigger. There's the Cinderella facelift, and that's threads that are threaded throughout your face, inserting like a little tug into specific facial points to provide an uplifting effect. It's almost like sewing. They know exactly where to pull it up a little bit, and it's considered minimally invasive, along with Botox and dermal fillers. That is considered a very minor facelift, but you could be thrilled with the results if you just have a few areas. Then there's the ponytail facelift, and this pulls tissue vertically. They recommend doing that between 30 and 50 years old. And once again, it's minimally invasive. It's an endoscopic procedure. It lifts your brows, your mid-face, and jowls using small hidden incisions in the hairline. So we're talking about something that isn't as expensive as the full. The vertical lift that I was just talking about with the ponytail, they call it a weekend facelift. It's an endoscopic facelift, very, very fast recovery time. So if you have a big event coming up or you want to transform a bit, that might be the way to go without having to, go the full distance. There's a deep plane facelift. That seems to be the real deal. And that targets the deep layers of facial tissue, releases key facial ligaments, and it's repositioning fat pads. Big bruising,
Sure.
but your face heals incredibly fast. You would think when somebody gets a major facelift that it's going to take a month and you're going to have black and blue eyes. I don't know what I thought, but I had a very good friend get one and she was yellow and bruised, but within 2 weeks, she looked amazing. The recovery time is not at all what it once was. If you're a good healer, that's something beneficial to know. Are you somebody that heals quickly? And picking the time of year that suits you best. A lot of people seem to schedule it after Christmas in that dead zone of January. The better surgeons have big time wait lists, up to 1.5 to 2 years. It requires planning in advance. And once again, a broker could help you move up a few notches. Right now, the ripple effect that has raged through America is Denise Richards and her transformation. That plastic surgeon is in Beverly Hills, and he was relatively accessible prior, but now he has gotten incredible marketing out of the before and after images.
And that's partially because she was completely honest, which not most of Hollywood is.
She probably got it for free because she
it's-
was completely honest. Something.
And I love that she was authentic about her fear of going under
Yep.
and what she was going through with like her deep set, big eyes being hidden and her jowls. And she's 55, so she's in our age range. And
Dr. Ben Talei, Talei, from the Beverly Hills Center.
not that you're going to be able to see him anymore. You might if you pay one of these big brokers, but I do think that her authenticity is what really created this ripple effect, because there are so many people that are considering it and it has become such a social norm. And if you watch Hollywood, most of the women over 55 have had something done, whether
and it's
they
a
admit
huge
to it or
investment.
not, whether
Huge.
they admit to it or not. Whether it's a mini facelift or eyes done or lips or injectables, like I said, they pave the way for acceptability. And it's just continuing on because everybody wants the fountain of youth. Youthfulness is valuable. And people will pay money to feel younger, and that our society values youth. My mother looks very young for 76.
She does.
And it's a great genetic thing. But I also want her to age. I don't want to look like my future daughter-in-law that I don't have yet. Youth is for the kids.
Aging should be beautiful. It should be done naturally with help. Christy Brinkley will not reveal that she's had any procedures beyond Exomin, Xeomin injections, similar to Botox, but a more natural version. Ultrasound, OL therapy for skin tightening. She has done that. Radio frequency tightening. It's laser. Chemical peels and Fraxel she boasts having.
Which I've done. And I feel like they used to have a lot more downtime. I've done a lot of dermatological procedures because I suffer from rosacea, and they help to restore collagen and renew the skin cells, but they still have risks. There are people that have things done that are outpatient things, and they'll have other things that come up because of it.
I'm trying to get Fraxel, but I can't. Every time I go into the dermatologist to have them, analyze me, they have to burn something else off. And I'm on the sidelines of a lot of sporting events all the time. And I'm a Florida girl, and sun is my vitamin in life. Being outside and actually getting sun, I feel like I look better. And I know the UV zone has been depleted and it does age you dramatically.
Yeah. So sunscreen, wear your sunscreen.
Yes. Chemical peels, it's like you are using an abrasive scrub, only it's a chemical.
Mm-hmm.
And you better protect that layer underneath. Injectables, Christy Brinkley said that she's a fan of injectables. She did EM face, which is muscle tightening. She looked significantly different at one point, a little bit unrecognizable and full-faced, but now I think she's toned things down.
Some people will start with the Botox because it does wear off. So if you have Botox and you hate the results, there's a way I think you can reverse it. But if you don't, and you can wait it out, I think it'll wear off in 4 to 6 months for the most part.
And eventually Botox doesn't work anymore. So if you are somebody that's been doing it for years and years, you might not see the effects that it once had on you because your muscles are no longer taking it on and it's not happening anymore. I have a child at 25 years old begging me for Botox. And I said, not a shot. You're 25 years old, wear sunscreen. And by the time you're 55, if you're doing Botox at 25, it's not going to work anymore. You have to figure out what works for you. And I would recommend baby steps before you go head first, because some of it is reversible, some of it is not.
Well, and let's give a shout out to the people like Jamie Lee Curtis, who's had no plastic surgery and she wants to age naturally. Jodie Foster is another one who's very low impact, like what it sounds like Christy Brinkley did at points where she would do some of these procedures, but not go for the full facelift. Drew Barrymore supposedly has had 0 done. So there are women who are choosing to age completely naturally. And I think that's a beautiful thing too.
I agree.
So many things are a personal choice, and risk, reward, return, benefit are all important. But we do have to think about what we value in society. Make sure we still value grandparents, the people that have been through it all, that don't keep up with the fountain of youth. We don't want to put our old people out to pasture because they don't have beauty and youth. Youthfulness is not knowledge. Experience is equally as important.
Well, I think where you live has a lot to do with what is socially acceptable in your community. If you live in Miami, it's accelerated there. If you
New
live
York, Miami,
LA.
LA.
There's certain places.
Good
so,
luck.
Middle America, I kind of like the fact that I'm going to
I don't
make
know.
my way back
Dallas
to
and
No, I'm not going there.
Houston and
Oh yeah, sure.
yeah,
But
they're
that's
all
not
into
Middle
it.
America.
Well,
Middle America is Idaho.
I'm not the hoe.
Idaho.
No, I'm not.
I think Middle America is in the middle of the United States. It's Middle America.
If you've done any type of a cosmetic procedure and you live in Middle America, we'd love to see a picture. We'd love to see your success story.
I think I'd like to retire to a place that is absolutely not amped up on perfection, because I am not perfect and I'm only getting less and less perfect. I remember the first time that I actually dabbled in Botox. I came back from a big trip to Miami and my family was like, wow, you look so rested. You look so good, mom. And I was excited by it, but I couldn't continue to see that person for my Botox. So the next time I got Botox, I came home and my family looked at me and my husband asked me if I was stoned.
Oh my God, you had botch talks.
And I was like, what do you mean? Am I stoned? And he's like, your eyes, something weird looks with your eyes. And I was like, oh yeah, my contacts are bothering me. Well, they bothered me for a good couple months and that scared the crap out of me. So I don't want to look like a weird version of myself. I want to look attractive and not feel like a hag. So I'm going to dabble very slowly. Fraxel to me is probably my next step if I can ever get it, because of all the sun damage spots that I have to constantly get burned off. I do recommend that everybody goes to a dermatologist before you begin this. Have them look at your face, have them do the black light, look for areas that need attention. I love the fact that my dermatologist won't let me do anything until I get my face square. I'm using Tammy Fender products. We had Julie Moran on, our beautiful esthetician bestie, and she said you need to start putting raw, organic, live material on your face. So I have gone away from all the other products and I've been religiously using Tammy Fender to see if I can reincarnate my face. And I do see a difference with my complexion. Toxins are coming out and I'm healing, and there's a process going on right now. So stay tuned.
And again, none of these things come without cost, and you make an investment in what you choose. But I think it's funny. We want organic, complete nature, and then we're going to go under the knife and have surgery. This is the interesting dichotomy of the American way. We want to look as natural as possible. We want organic, but then we want the doctor to fix it. Like, it's so, I don't think there's any wrong decision. You do you. Be happy, be educated. And if you can fix something, by all means, go ahead and fix it. Figure out a way, because that's gritty.
One thing I notice with me is my lips are disappearing. And so many people have said, oh, why don't you get lip injections? Why don't you do a lip flip? I would look ridiculous. I would look like Goldie Hawn in the First Wives Club, because I've never had lips and suddenly I'm going to have lips. I did try the lip flip. Painful.
The what?
The lip flip. It's where they like do a shot all along this line of Botox so that your upper lip flips up a bit.
I didn't notice this.
You couldn't even notice. No one noticed, and it wasn't worth the pain. And I will never do it again. It was like getting my lip tattooed and nothing happened.
Well, I think we can just pencil in a bigger lip. Let's just do that.
I can just pencil in this beauty mark, make it a little darker.
There you go. There's lots of little
I like
trips,
smoky eyes.
trips.
Smoky eyes hide bags and wrinkles.
Listen, there's a
Lighting.
lot of,
We can play with lighting in your house.
a lot of tips.
Opt
lot of
for-
tricks, a lot of tips
Opt
and
for
tricks.
candles.
Low light.
Low light.
Low light's always a good thing. But we're not a huge proponent of low light when it comes to our Got Grit winner. We talked about the Fountain of Youth, and this person is bringing his voice to the Vermont governor race. Our Got Grit award winner is Dean Roy. He's a freshman in high school. He got interested in politics in 8th grade and decided to make his own party, get around the hurdles of the Democrat and Republicans that would keep him out, and created the Freedom and Unity Party. He is able to do this in Vermont because they have an old law where you've only had to have been a resident for 4 years, which at 14 he has. So he'll be on the ballot come November.
I love the fact that this is the way he's getting his start in the political race. If he's going to throw his hat in the ring at 14, imagine what he could be capable of when he's in his 30s.
Absolutely. And inspiring young people to get involved in this political process as we celebrate our 250th year. of inception of the United States of America, I think is really important. And he's saying all these old men are doing it, and I'm not sure they're doing a great job. So maybe we need a younger voice. And I think 18 is a little old to be able to vote in this country. If we're expecting people to get involved in the process, I think we could have them involved in some primaries. They don't get to vote in the big leagues, but we get them involved in the process ahead of things where they feel like they have a voice.
Kids need to get off of devices and read. I agree. I think he's trying to shake things up a little bit. I like that Vermont is a state where there's not billboards and they're still trying to have nature prevail. There's a lot of things they do right. I don't agree with them defunding the police, however, because Burlington used to be one of my favorite cities, and now it is not safe. There's some issues there. So maybe this kid could turn things around. I doubt he'll get elected, as he said. He's like, you know what? I don't think I'm going to be elected, but maybe I'll be the light bulb for a lot of kids that need to roll up their sleeves and become proactive.
Well, and truly, he won't be alone, because getting elected as a third party anything in this country is near to impossible.
Yeah,
But
with no funding.
But exposing that weakness in our system is a really good thing. He's being heard, and we need more Dean Roys in our processes. So be inspired, get your kids involved, get them to listen, get them to pay attention. And that leads us to our song of the week.
Sure does. This song, you can feel in your core when you hear this person's voice.
Mm-hmm.
Something so out of the ordinary, you got me kissing the ground of your sanctuary. Shatter me with your touch, O Lord, return me to dust. The angels up in the clouds are jealous, no one we found. Hopeless, alleluia. On this side of heaven's gate, oh my life, how do ya? Breathe and take my breath away. At your altar, I will pray. You're the sculptor, I'm the clay. His voice,
oh my gosh,
is
deep. So beautiful.
And that is Alex Warren. But see, I heard him with Toby Keith. So
a couple of iterations, and it sounds to
it's called
me,
Ordinary.
It sounds like gospel. And when you listen to the lyrics, it does feel like you're connected to a higher power.
Oh, it does.
To God, to the universe, to whatever it is. And I love that inspirational lyric and message.
It's fantastic. It's deep. You walk away feeling like you had religion.
Yeah,
so we recommend that you listen to Alex Warren's Ordinary.
There is nothing ordinary about what we're trying to do here on Girls Gone Gritty. We continue to bring inspirational stories to you each week with our Got Grit winner music for you to listen to when you take your run, your walk. But what we really need is for you to get involved in our content and getting more listeners to our podcast.
We'd like to brag for 2 seconds. We are number 3 of all times on Good Pods for original organic podcasts.
Means we do it by ourselves. We are authentic, unscripted, and we do not curate anything from AI, from third parties. We do all of our own feeds, our own
promoting
segments.
graphics.
As always, we love and appreciate you for tuning in.
I think we should wear a co-joined 2-man band outfit, because that's what we are right now. So if you have any inroads that can help us shed our costume, we are looking to take things to the next level. And we are. We have a meeting today, which is why we're like doppelgangers.
Twins.
And honestly, if anybody has any insight or you want to help us connect some dots, we are ready and waiting. So please reach out to us. You can find us on our website, on Instagram. You can DM us on Facebook as well. We look forward to seeing you next Thursday.
Thank you. Peace out.
Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Girls Gone Gritty.
Visit us on Instagram, Facebook, and now TikTok.
If this episode hits home, share it with someone who needs to get gritty.
Own it and put the it in grit.
See you next episode.